Welcome to session 11 of UGBS 207, Social Responsibility and Ethics. Here in this session, I shall be looking at leadership, especially its relationship with corporate social responsibility and ethics. And by way of session overview, we shall try to address the role of leadership in corporate social responsibility and ethical practices in an organization. What constitutes leadership and the types of leadership shall be discussed in this session. The impact of leadership on CSR, ethics, and business performance shall be discussed in this session. The session objectives are as follows. At the end of the session, the students should be able to explain what leadership is, understand the leadership role in social responsibility and ethics in business setting, understand and apply principles of leadership in CSR and business settings, be able to understand leadership role in organizational ethical culture, and be able to understand leadership role among interrelations among leadership and that of responsible and ethics. The key topics to cover in this session are as follows. Leadership will be explained, forms of leadership, leadership effect on CSR, and leadership effect on ethical culture. Now, defining leadership, leadership refers to the trade-off between more or less managerial control and the ability of individuals to influence a group to realize a given objective. So here, basically, we are looking at leaders have an influence of a group of people. And in an organization, a leader should be able to direct the effort of the entire members. And what is this leadership role? How does it affect CSR and ethical culture in an organization is very, very important. As the saying goes, leadership by example. So in an organization where you have leaders who champion social responsible business practices or ethical business practices, then the entire organization will be responsible in their business practices. Another scholar views CSR leadership as someone who inspires support action towards a better world. There are several forms of leadership that we need to understand. And this leadership has an effect on an organization's ethical culture as well as its social responsibility. Now, some leaderships mentioned here are transactional and team leaders. We also have charismatic leaders, we have visionary and moral leaders, and we have transformational leaders. These forms of leadership, they exhibit different characteristics. They exhibit different influences. And it is important you visit the UG Sakai platform to read to understand the different characteristics of this particular group of leaders or these types of leaders. For instance, the transactional leader or team leaders usually are very inactive as one of their characteristics. And the transformational leaders are very proactive in their dealings. So it is important you understand these various types of leadership, and the type of leadership that you have in an organization will have an effect on its CSR as well as its ethical culture. I'll urge you to visit the UG Sakai platform for further reading on this leadership and organizational CSR. By way of summary, in this session, I have explained what leadership is. And basically, I was saying leadership is an individual who have an authority over another person, another individual, or a group of individuals that he can influence their behavior. And in this session, I've also covered that there are several forms of leadership. And the type of leadership that you have in an organization will have an effect on its social responsibility culture as well as its ethical culture. So it is important organizations understand the role of leadership and its effect on their corporate social responsibility and its ethical or business practices. Thank you. You may try your hand on this question. Describe 3 forms of leadership and relate their influence on an organization's social responsibility culture.